Hello everyone, we welcome you all on our YouTube channel Wains Vlog. As you already know that we have started a video series for the preparation of Einbürgerungstest or Lebens in Deutschland test or Orientierungskurs, whatever you say in English language. We have already uploaded 6 videos. 4 videos were related to part number 1, in which we have explained the history of Germany starting from the events of pre Second World War, before the Second World War, and until the current situation of Germany. Uh, Part 1 contained 4 videos, and then we started part 2, which was about German democratic system, election system in Germany, and how the different constitutions work in Germany, parliamentary system, and Bundesparlament, German parliament, or parliament of different states. The second part was consisted of 2 videos. So in total, up till now, we have covered 2 main topics containing 6 videos in total. From today, we are starting topic number 3, which will be about German laws and institutions. It will be about German democratic, not about German democratic, but German different government institutes and the basic rights of a common person of or living in Germany, or of a German citizen. So this part will also contain 4 videos in total, each video of 30 questions. And then, as I already told you, that it will cover the topic of different German institutions starting from the federal level, and then it will come down to the state level, and then to the Gemeinde or local government level. So this was a short intro. If you like our videos, kindly like it, subscribe our channel, and share it in your friend circle as well. If you want, you can also support us on Patreon. It really helps us a lot to make some new videos, and then to come up with new projects in future. So let's start with the question number 1 of part 3, video 1, which is about German laws and institutions. So our first question is: Deutschland ist, Germany is eine sozialistische Stadt. Is it socialist state? Yeah, it's a, you can say actually, but it is not a complete term. Actually, Germany is is like we normally use a complete term for Germany, which is like Germany is a democratic, then socialist, social, and republic state. So all these come together. Germany is not even not a dictatorship, not a monarch or kingdom, you can say, but it's actually a Bundesstaat. It's a federal state, you can say. Bund is a federal Bundesstaat, or you can also say that it's a it contains different states, and it is a Bund or federation of different states. So Germany is basically a federal state, Bundesstaat. Its typical name is Bundesrepublik of Deutschland. So Bundesstaat. Socialist state is not the complete answer. Dictatorship, no way. Monarch or monarchy, it is no way. So the correct answer is Deutschland is Bundesstaat, a federal state. Our next question is: the Bundesrepublik of Deutschland ist ein demokratische und sozialere. This is the complete statement. Is ein democratic and social. Staatenverbund is a union of states. Actually, union of state means Staaten is state, Verbund is you can say the combination or the unity. So actually, like, it's not a kind of unity on state level, but it's a Bundesstaat, federation of states, not a Staatenverbund. It's a different term. Bundesstaat. Actually, Germany, the complete statement is: Deutschland ist ein demokratische und soziale, or if you say this, Bundesrepublik Deutschland is a republic. Then demokratische und sozialere Bundesstaat, a federation state, a federal state. Staatenbund, not the confederation, like maybe you know, In some countries, even all the states are totally independent, but they are, like you can say, they are different countries, and then they are living together as a confederation. This term is called Staatenbund. Germany is not even a Staatenbund, not even a Staatenverbund, or not even a central state. Central state is like you don't have sovereignty, or your states are not autonomous. Everything is dependent, or is being dictated through the central point, or the federation, or your capital. Germany is not even a central state. In Germany, we have a federation, a federal state. You can say Germany is a federal state. Bundesstaat, if you translate exactly this word, it means Bundesstaat, which is federal state. So, Germany actually is a federal state. Bundesrepublik Deutschland is Republic, democratic and social federal state. So, this answer is correct. Was für eine Staatsform hat Deutschland? Form of government in Germany. What is the form of the country in Germany? Is a monarch? Is it a kingdom? No. Dictator? No. Republic is the correct answer. Fürstentum is also a state of government, a form of government which is more about uh, actually it's a different system, it's a different regime, which actually you can say it was in the previous empires, when we have Roman empires or British empires. So it was a typical term used in some empires, or you can say even sometime principality, where we have each state has a different rights, and the second state has a different right. It's a different, totally a different term actually. Germany, about Deutschland, we know it's a republic. It's a republic system. Republic means we also call this the government of people. Republic. Public is public. So some countries are a republic. Like the power, this we will also see in upcoming questions. The power in one democratic system, or in a republic state, actually all the power belongs to the common people. Power originates from the people, from the voters. So common people in any democratic system, or sorry, in any republic, people are the real source of power. They elect the people, then those people represent them in parliament and fight for their rights. So Germany is a republic. Next question is, was ist Deutschland nicht? What exact in for the following, what is not the correct term for Germany? Germany is democratic system. Germany is a rest state. Rest is your right or law. Germany is a constitutional state. If you translate this word exactly as a technical term, then rest is your law. Start is state. So Germany is a law state. Or if I want to say it more precisely, it will be a constitutional state. So Germany is a constitutional state. Germany is not a monarch. What is next? Monarch. Germany is not a kingdom. It's a democratic state, even social state. These all three words give us the complete definition of German democratic and social system. So democracy, state, and social state, these all belong to Germany, but what doesn't belong is monarch. So this answer is correct. So let's move to the next question. Our next question is, was bedeutet Rechtsstaat in Deutschland? What does the term Rechtsstaat or constitutional state in Germany means? What does this term mean? So there is Staat hat Recht. The state is always state hat Recht. State is right. No, actually, Rechtsstaat mean there is some basic constitution or basic laws. So any state or any form of government has to follow that constitution, that law. In Germany, that law is known as Grundgesetz. And this topic we will cover, the video topic number 3 is about the German laws. So Grundgesetz, the questions about Grundgesetz will come in video number 2 or 3. So there are some basic constitution, or there are some basic laws in any country which must be followed by the government or by the state. So Germany is a constitution state. It has some basic constitution. So what does it mean? State hat Recht. State is right. This option is okay, but not 100% correct. because government, if government is not following the constitution uh, in some ways, then anyhow the state is not right at that point. As gibt nur rechte Partien. The term recht mean in Germany we only have right wing parties. Those of you who are already familiar with some terms like in politics right wing or left wing, like the left wing are more towards the liberal, the right wing are more towards the extremism. So like they are saying that this rechte mean in Germany we only have rechte Parteien. This is not correct. In Germany we have even linke Parteien, even some parties who are right of left, left of right, or some even in the middle. So this option is also not correct. Die Bürger und Bürgerinnen entscheiden über die Gesetze. Like in this option they are saying that that mean this male and female citizens entscheiden decide over the law, like they decide the laws by themselves. This option is also not correct. There start muss die Gesetze einhalten. Einhalten means to observe, to abide, to follow. So this option is correct. State must follow the law. State has to follow the law. Rest that mean there are some basic laws or constitution which must be followed by the state, by the government. So this option is 100% correct. There start muss die Gesetze einhalten. The state has to follow, abide, or observe the laws. This option is correct. Let's move to the next question. So, eine demokratische Rechtsstaat gehört es nicht in any democratic state or any democratic constitutional state which of the following never exist in any democratic state. Mention sich Kritik über die Regierung äußern können, that people can criticize over the government. Äußern is to utter, to express. So people can express their criticism over the government. It is a beauty of democratic system. It exists in every democratic system that people can criticize the government. So this option is not correct. They are asking which never exists in any democratic state. Bürger friedlich demonstrieren gehen dürfen, that people are peacefully. Friedlich is peace. So friedlich, peacefully demonstrieren gehen dürfen, that citizens are allowed to go for the demonstrations or go for the protest peacefully. This is a beauty of any democratic system as well. People can use their right of protest. So it also exists in a democratic system. Mention for einer Privatpolizei ohne Grund verhaftet werden. This option is right. Like this it never exists in a democratic state that people von einer Privatpolizei, people like people are being captured ohne Grund verhaftet werden. People are verhaften is to keep in abduction, to abduct somebody. So like people are being abducted or they are like they are in jail or some custody ohne Grund and with some private police, some private agencies. So this option says that people can be in detention, people can be put under custody by using private police without any reason, without ohne Grund, without any reason. So this option, it never exists in any democratic state. It's not the beauty. This exists in any, you can say, dictatorship sometimes, but not in a democratic state. So this is the option which is correct. Like it never belongs to a democratic state that people are being kept in detention without any reason. Jemand ein Verbrechen begeht und deshalb verhaftet wird. That jemand, somebody, ein Verbrechen begeht. Verbrechen normally is to crime. It's a term we use to crime, and begehen is a verb is used to commit. So Verbrechen is a term used for crime, and begehen is a verb we use to commit something. So somebody has done a crime. Verbrechen begeht, has done a crime und deshalb, and that's why verhaftet wird, and that's why he is arrested for that. He is kept under custody. Actually, it is correct in any democratic state. If you have committed some crime, it is the duty of government to investigate you, and if you are guilty, to keep you under custody, to punish you. So this exists in any democratic state. But keeping people in custody without any reason, even using with private police, it never exists in any democratic state. So this option is correct. Let's move to the next question. Our next question is, warum gibt es in einer Demokratie mehr als eine Partei? Why in any democratic system we have more than one parties? I think this we have already seen in some previous videos, but with different options. So why we have different parties in any democratic system? Weil dadurch, because through that, dadurch means through that, die unterschiedlichen Meinungen, different opinions, the Bürger und Bürgerinnen vertreten werden. Vertreten is to represent. If we have more than one party in Germany, then a different opinion of the people, male and female, can be represented. So this option is correct. Like if we have different parties, one party maybe is famous in some particular group of people, the other party in different group of people. So different opinions, unterschiedliche Meinungen, different opinion can be represented through different parties. This option is correct. Damit Bestechung in der Politik begrenzt wird. They are saying that if we have more than one party, then Bestechung is a term for bribe or bribery. So they are saying that if more than one parties are there in a democratic system, then through that, damit hence the crime, damit for that bribery in the politic begins with that bribery will be limited and or will be very limited. So this, it doesn't make any sense that if we have more than one party in any political system, then bribery can be controlled. Politische Demonstrationen so verhindern. We have more than one party. To verhindern is to restrict or to prevent. To restrict or prevent. So if we have more than one parties, then political protests can be prevented. This option is not correct. Even if you have more parties, then you can expect more political protest. Wirtschaftlichen Wettbewerb anzuregen. That means that Wirtschaftlichen is economic, Wettbewerb is a term used for competition. So we have more than one parties in a democratic system for economic competition or the competition of money. Anregen is used for to stimulate or to raise. So they are saying that if we have more than one parties, then it will increase the competition of funds and money to get the funds. This option is also not correct. Only the correct option is the real reason of more than one parties in a democratic system is that we can have different opinion from different group of people, and this option is correct. So our next question is, Deutschland ist ein Rechtsstaat. This we know. Germany is a constitutional state. Was ist damit gemeint? So what does exactly this term mean? Alle Einwohnerinnen und der Staat müssen sich an die Gesetze halten. This option is correct. All the people living in Germany, male or female or any third gender, und der Staat and state as well, müssen sich an die Gesetze halten. They have to obey or abide the law, the basic law. No, like you cannot influence the people only, the common people, to follow the law, but government is not following it. So it is a duty of all the citizens or all the people living in Germany and the state as well to abide the law. This option is correct. Der Staat muss sich nicht an die Gesetze halten. That state does not have to obey the laws or follow the laws. No, state also need to follow the basic constitution. No, Deutsche müssen die Gesetze befolgen. That only befolgen is to follow, obey. So only Germans have to follow the law. It is not correct. Maybe if you are living in Germany and you are not a citizen, even those who are not German citizens, they also, if they are living in Germany, they have to follow the German laws. Die Gerichte machen die Gesetze. They are saying that Gerichte is used for court. The court or some Gerichte is court or some where we have some cases going on. So the courts machen die Gesetze. No, in Germany actually we know the laws are being drafted in Bundestag, German Parliament, or in Bundesrat, upper house. So Courts are related to judiciary. They have to only implement the laws. They have to give the decisions if there are some conflicts. So this option is also not correct. Only the correct option is Germany is a constitutional state, then all the citizens and the government itself should follow the law. Our next question is an demokratische Wahlen in Deutschland teilzunehmen ist. This we have already seen in last video, I guess, that in democratic elections in Germany, teilzunehmen, to participate is mandatory, is is right, Einrecht is your right, is a pressure, is a force, or is a burden. This we've already seen. It is not mandatory, not a pressure on you. If you want to go, you can. If you don't, then that's fine. It's not a burden as well. It's a right. If you want to avail this right, you want to cast a vote, you can. If you don't want, then it's not a problem. So, it is overall in any democratic state. So same in Germany. During democratic elections, if you want to participate, it is your right. So our next question is, was is kein Merkmal unserer Demokratie? They are saying like democratic system of Germany doesn't have a feature. Merkmal is a feature or attribute. So was is kein Merkmal among the following which is not a feature or attribute of a German democratic system? Regelmäßige Wahlen, regular elections. This is the beauty of any democratic system. We have elections after every 4 or 5 years. In Germany, Bundestag is elected for 4 years, so after every 4 years. Press censor, censorship, restrictions on the media, restrictions on the press. This is not an attribute of a democratic system, that you have some limitation or some restrictions on press censorship. So it is not an attribute of a democratic system. Meinung is your opinion. Freiheit is freedom. You have freedom of expression. This is a beauty of any democratic system. Verschiedene Parteien, different political parties, it is also a part of any democratic system. The limitations, restrictions or censorship on press is not an attribute of a democratic system, and this option is correct. So let's move to the next question. Our next question is, welches Organ gehört nicht zu den Verfassungsorganen Deutschland? Which of the following institute do not belong to like they have given some institute. So which of the following institute they are asking doesn't belong to the Verfassungsorgan or the constitutional organ, you can say. Bundesrat, we know Bundesrat is used to draft the constitution or law. Bundespräsidentin, even German president signs or approves the change or the new law or new constitution. The Regierung in the Bundestag, they also draft the new law. If they want to pass a law, they discuss in Bundestag, and then also in Bundesrat, and then the final law is drafted and presented in front of the German president. Then he signs it. He or she signs it. But Bundesversammlung is not a constitutional department. Bundesversammlung is more towards the selection of German president. This we have already seen in the previous questions. So Bundesversammlung does not belong to the drafting of constitution or drafting of laws. So this answer is like they are asking which institute does not belong to the Verfassungsorgan or the constitutional organ. This is Bundesversammlung. Other all three play their roles in the drafting of laws or of constitution. So only Bundesversammlung has no role in that. Next question is, wie heißt die deutsche Verfassung? How is it known as that? How or what we call German constitution? Maybe I have already told you during the part number 1, which was about German history, that when the Germany was divided into two different countries, then Konrad Adenauer, who was the first German chancellor, under him there was some basic constitution of Germany was drafted, and this is the basic German law or German constitution which is being followed. So what is the name of that German constitution? Is it Volksgesetz? It's a law of people. Bundesgesetz, law of federal or federal law. Deutsche Gesetz, German law. Grundgesetz. Actually, you can see all the names are very confusing, and maybe any one of them, like all of them, if you interpret them, all of them are anyhow correct. But there is a fixed name, like there is a technical term or political technical term which is being used in Germany for any constitution. Even if you belong to any country, your constitution will be named, it will have a fixed name. Same is with the case of Germany. You have to remember this name, it is very important. We have some questions in exam related to the Deutsche Verfassung. So the German constitution is known as Grundgesetz. You have to remember this term. All other terms can also be correct if you interpret them one to one, but there is a fixed name for Deutsche Verfassung, for German constitution, which is Grundgesetz, basic law. Every law will be like should correspond, this law should refer to Grundgesetz. So we have different articles, different section and subsection in Grundgesetz. If you want to study, you can, but Deutsche Verfassung is known as Grundgesetz. Our next question is, wie wird die Verfassung des Bundesrepublik of Deutschland genannt? Same question, but the text is different. How we known as the constitution of Germany? It is Grundgesetz. Bundesverfassung, or the German constitution, or Gesetzbuch, it's a code of law or a book of law, or Verfassungsvertrag, or it's a constitutional agreement, constitutional theory. Maybe all of them, if you interpret them, they are all correct, but the fixed name is for German constitution, Verfassung is Grundgesetz. This we have already seen. So our next question is, welches Gericht in Deutschland ist zuständig für die Auslegung des Grundgesetzes? For example, in Germany we have a basic constitution, basic law, but still sometime you need some explanation of some articles or some laws are not clear in constitution. So what you need an expert opinion. You need to interpret them. So they are asking which court in Germany is zuständig, mean responsible, is responsible for the Auslegung. Auslegung is to explain, to interpret. So exactly which court in Germany, Gericht is court, which court in Germany is responsible to interpret the basic laws. Sometimes you need the interpretation, sometimes you need the further explanation of your laws. Maybe like if you haven't studied law or some education related to constitution, then you cannot interpret, you have to take the help of some court. So what is the name of that court? Is it Oberlandgericht? Is it a high court? Oberland is Landesgericht is your city court, then high court is Oberlandgericht. Is a Amtgericht, some Amt is your local Gemeinde, local court. Is it a Bundesverfassungsgericht? Federal, Bundesfederal Verfassung Constitution Gericht court. It's a federal constitutional court which is dedicated, which is responsible solely for the explanation, for the interpretation of German basic laws. This name is correct, Bundes Federal Verfassung Constitution Gericht Court, or your court, yeah. So Federal Constitutional State, this is the name of the court which is responsible for the interpretation of Grundgesetz. Sometimes even you need the explanation as well, so that's why. Verwaltungsgericht is administrative court. This option is anyhow not correct. So only the third option is correct. So let's move to the next question. Before the next question, actually we have added this extra slide. You can note down these terms. Actually the upcoming questions or even in exam we have some questions related to different authorities or state authorities in Germany. Executive or executive, legislative, legislation, and judicial or judicial powers. So state, actually in Germany, state contains some powers, the federal state or the top state. Then there are some, you can say, directive powers or implementation power. These powers belong to sometime to the respective states, but the top state had some authorities. Executive authority, that you can execute, you can give some executive laws, or you can executive is you can forcefully implement what you want. There are some executive or executive authorities. Just note down and remember these terms. Executive authorities in Germany are Polizei, police, Finanzamt, and ministries. All the ministries, they all have the executive power. These are the political terms. Then for legislation, if you want to draft some laws, then in Germany we have legislative or legislative authorities. These are Bundestag, German Parliament, and Bundesrat, or you can say upper house or Senate. The name is Bundestag. Then there are some judicial or judicial, as the name suggests. The courts, Gerichtes Court and Richter und Richterin, judges, your judge, female or male judges, they are the part of judiciative or judicial executive power. Actually, they are known as Staatgewalt. This term we see in upcoming questions. State authorities. In Germany, state contains these three authorities: executive in German language, police, Finanzamt, ministries. These have executive powers in Germany. Then legislative powers to do legislation. Bundestag and Bundesrat have those powers. Then judiciative or judicial powers. These powers belong to Gerichte, court, and judges. They give some law and judiciary related matters. Just note down all these somewhere in your diary, or if you want to remember all of these parts, because even in exam sometime and in the upcoming questions we have the questions related to these powers or Gewalt or authorities. So just note them down. That's why we have dedicated the next slide for that. So now we will start our questions, or simply next go to the next question. In Deutschland gehören der Bundestag und Bundesrat so. To which authority? Bundestag, German Parliament, and upper house or Bundesrat. This we have already seen. Actually, these both are a legislative. They do the legislation. They draft the new laws. So they are not executive, not judiciative, not even directive. Even in Germany, we don't have a direct authority of directive. Directive, the name suggests, you will direct some group of people or some state to follow the law strictly. So it's a different kind of state authority, which is directive. But in Germany, directive authorities are being given to the states themselves, not from the federation. So Bundestag and Bundesrat, these both belong to legislation or legislative. Our next question is ein Richter, eine Richterin in Deutschland gehört zu. Judge, male or female. In Germany, they belong to which of the following state authorities? Is it a judiciative? This we know, it's a judicial authority, not executive, not operative, not legislative. Just remember this term. For court and for judge, we have judiciative, judicial authority. So I think you have already noted down our last slide, so it will help you a lot. Next question is, in Deutschland wird der Staatsgewalt geteilt. In Germany, they are saying that Staatsgewalt, Staat is state, Gewalt is authority or power, or some pressure. You can take it. Technical term is state authority is geteilt, is distribute. For welche Staatsgewalt arbeitet ein Richter or Richterin? Different Staatsgewalt, different responsibilities: judicial, executive, legislative. So the Richter, judge or male or female judge, they work for, this we have already seen, judiciative, not for executive, presse or legislative. Actually they work for judiciative. Our next question is ein Richter or eine Richterin gehört in Deutschland so. They belong to Vollziehende Gewalt. That which a Vollziehende is a term which is used to power, to forcefully power, to executive authority. Actually, if you interpret or if you remember, it's a Vollziehen. You can give a pressure. It's an executive authority. But we know the Richter and Richterin, actually they belong to the judiciary. Rechtsprechung Gewalt. Rechtsprechung is judiciary, judicial. Recht, right, Sprechen, to speak. They speak the correct thing. They speak the decisions. Recht, right. So in Germany, judge and judges, male and judges, male, either male or female. Actually, their authority is Rechtsprechung, judicial power. Gewalt is authority or power. Planengewalt, planning authority, they plan something. This option is also not correct. Gesetzgebende Gewalt, You can say they give law or legislation even. We know this is the another name of legislative. This power belongs to Bundesrat and Bundestag. Full C&D or executive, this we have already seen, it belongs to ministries, finance, armed police and different institutes. But Reichspression, it is the authority which belongs to, or judicative or judicial, which belongs to courts or judges. Our next question is, was gehört in Deutschland nicht or executive? Which of them is not executive? Minister is executive, this we have seen, even finance, armed, police is also executive, Gerichte court, because court belongs to judicial or judicative. So this option, gehört nicht zu executive, is Gerichte. Our next question is, was ist eine Aufgabe der Polizei in Deutschland? In Germany, what is the task of police? Das Land zu verteidigen. They defend their country. Verteidigen is to defend. They defend their country, but it is the task of Bundeswehr or army on the borders to protect the country. In Germany, actually, police is to, if you already know, in any country, police normally is there to watch out the citizens, are they following the laws or not. So, but not to defend the country. The Bürgerin abhören mean to intercept, to tape some calls, to listen to somebody, spy kind of stuff. But it's not a task of police in Germany to intercept the calls of citizens, to listen to them. No. The Gesetze zu beschließen, to determine, to define the laws, it is not the task, their task as well. Beschließen is to determine, to define. Things related to law come from the Bundestag, Bundesrat. Even if you want some explanation, then Bundesverfassungsgericht, German Constitutional Court will help you, but not the police. The Einhaltung mean observance, abidance von Gesetzen zu überwachen. They monitor, überwachen, they monitor or supervise the abidance or observance of laws, that either the citizens are following the laws or not. Einhaltung is observance, abidance, these kind of words. So they monitor, überwachen, they monitor, supervise that the laws are being followed, are being abided. So this option is correct. Let's move to the next question. Our next question is, was ist keine staatliche Gewalt in Deutschland? What is not the state authority or the power of state or state authority, as we have seen? Gesetzgebung, the legislation or they give the laws. This we know, this we have already seen. It comes under legislative or legislation power. Regierung, it is a state authority. They control, like they control the government. You can say executive power. They have the executive laws, they have ministries, they have the executive power. Regierung. Press is free. In Germany we don't have any authority, or you can say any force on the media. In any country, the press is not the power of state. It doesn't belong to the state. You can say it's unbiased. They give their opinion, they do the reporting, the media or the press, they provide the reports, they give the common awareness to the people. So they never this press never comes under the authority of any state. Same in Germany. Rechtsprechung is judicative or judiciary related. You have to speak the law, you have to give the decisions. So it is also a state authority. If you see, this one is legislative, this one is executive, if you see the technical terms, and this one is judicative or judicial. But presse it doesn't belong to the state authority in Germany, even nowhere in any country, if there is democracy. So presse is a keine staatliche Gewalt, is not a state authority. The next question is, was ist keine staatliche Gewalt in Deutschland? Legislative, judicative, executive, these all are staatliche Gewalt or state authority. Only directive, this doesn't belong to the state, staatliche Gewalt. Sometimes the directive authorities are being given to the Bundesländer, to German state, to the provinces, but not to staatliche Gewalt, you can say, not directly from the federation. So it is not a state authority. In Germany, just simply remember, three terms are about state authorities: LEJ or LJ, whatever you want, legislative, judiciative, executive. This answer this answer are correct. These are the power of state authority versus Kine strategic evolved. What doesn't belong to the authority of state is directive. Let's move to the next question. Was bedeutet voll Souveränität? Where the term folk is people sovereignty of common people. What does this term mean? Alle Staat Gewalt, that the whole authority of state. Geht vom Volke aus. Ausgehen mean to originate, to come out. So the term of for any democratic system, sovereignty of common people, sovereignty of state, the right of power belongs to the common people. Alle Staatsgewalt, the whole state power. Geht vom Volke aus. Ausgehen verb which is being used for emanates, originates. So all the state authority comes out, originates from the common people. Common people are the real source of power in any democratic system. They elect their representatives. So this answer is correct. All the state authority comes out from Bundestag. This option is not correct. Preußischen Königshaus from Prussian king from the older times. Bundesverfassungsgerichtshaus come from the German federal constitutional state. These all options are wrong. Volkssouverinität, sovereignty, the power of common people. Folk is population, common people. So full sovereignty mean all the state authority actually originates, emanates, comes out from the people. Our next question is, was bedeutet full sovereignty? The same term, what exactly mean the full sovereignty? The power of people, sovereignty of people. Die König, die Königin herrscht über das Volk. Herrschen is a term used to rule over the, like it's a typical term used for the kings. So full sovereignty mean the king or queen rules over the common people. This option is not correct. Like a full sovereignty mean simply a democratic system and the real source of power are common people. Das Bundesverfassungsgericht steht über die Verfassung. This option is anyhow wrong. That federal constitution state is above the basic constitution, the Grundgesetz. This option is not correct. In Germany, nobody is above the basic law, the Grundgesetz. Der Interessenverbände über die Souveränität zusammen mit der Regierungshaus. That some interested groups or some privileged groups even practice the sovereignty like zusammen mit der Regierungshaus. Like there are some powerful groups or some interested groups which have sovereignty, even which exercise the sovereignty with the government. Like in Germany, we have some dedicated group of people and government who have sovereignty, not the common people. This term mean no. This term means the Stadt Gewalt geht vom Volke aus. The whole power of state, the complete power of state emanates, comes out or originates from the common people. So in any democratic system, this option is correct. The real source of power are common people. In Deutschland dürfen Menschen offen etwas gegen die Regierung sagen. In Germany, people are allowed to criticize or to say something against the government. While because here Religionsfreiheit gilt. In Germany we have religious freedom. Actually there is religious freedom, but if you are criticizing the government, it is not because that you have religious freedom. The mention Steuerzahlen, that people Steuerzahlen, they pay the tax. Steuerzahlen, tax, they pay the tax. That's why they can criticize the government. Maybe, but this option is not the correct one. The mention das Wahlrecht haben, that people have the right to vote. That's why they can criticize the government. No, here Meinungsfreiheit gilt. The basic laws in Germany is there are many basic rights for common people. This we will see in upcoming questions. Meinungsfreiheit, the freedom of expression. Meinung, your opinion. Freiheit, freedom of your opinion, freedom of expression gilt. There is a freedom of expression in Germany. That's why you can criticize, you can speak against the government. So Meinungsfreiheit, there are many basic laws. Meinungsfreiheit is one of them. So if you are criticizing government, it is not because in Germany you have religious freedom or you are paying some tax and you have some authority to choose people, you are eligible to vote. Simply Meinungsfreiheit. So our next question is, in Deutschland können Eltern bis zum 14. Lebensjahr ihres Kind entscheiden. In Germany, parents can decide for their child till the age of 14 that ob sie in der Schule, if in school he or she wants to have Geschichtsunterricht teilnimmt, to participate in Geschichte is history or story. So they want to, if they want to take the history classes, it is not an option that parents can decide if their child should have or not have. It's a must in Germany. You have to take the history classes. Religionunterricht teilnimmt. It is an optional. If you want to take the religious classes in your school for your child, your parents can decide till 14. When the child is still not 14-year old, is under the age of 14, then their parents can decide if their child will go to religious classes or not. This is the correct option. Politikunterricht teilnimmt, political education, there is some, it is not an option. In some classes it's mandatory till for, like, we have some lectures in for classes related to history, politics, even Sprachunterricht. It is also mandatory. It is not an optional. And Scheiden is to decide. Parents can only decide for their child if he's under the age of 14 till 14, that either he will go or she will go for the religious lectures or not. After 14, the child can decide by him or herself. The next option is, welches Recht gehört zu den Grundrechten in Deutschland? Which law belongs to the basic right? Grundrechten, basic right, basic law. So Waffenbesitz, that you can keep a weapon with you, possession of a weapon, occupy a weapon. This option is not correct. Faustrecht, that you can, like, Recht, right to Faust is to punch, that you can punch somebody, your right to hit somebody. This is not a basic right. Meinungsfreiheit, freedom of expression, is one of the basic laws, one of the very basic laws in Germany. Grundrechten, freedom of expression is the correct answer. Self justice, that you can you can decide the justice, or you can take decision by your own, and like, you can, self justice is, you can decide a matter by your own. It's also not correct. If you have some conflict, some serious conflict, then you should go to the court, Gericht. But that you are vigilant for the justice and you are deciding your own, this option is also not correct. The basic right, Grundrechten in Germany, is Meinungsfreiheit, your freedom of expression. Let's go to the next question. Welches Recht gehört zu den Grundrechten, die nach der deutschen Verfassung garantiert werden? Which law in Germany is a basic right which, as per law, is guaranteed to any citizens? Das Recht auf Glauben und Gewissenfreiheit, freedom of belief, and conscience, your conscience. So this is the right. You have a right to believe whatever religion you want to follow, to believe. This is your right, which is in the Grundrecht. This option is correct. Unterhaltung mean some you are allowed to discuss or entertainment. This is also a right, but not one of the basic laws as Meinungsfreiheit or Glaubens or Gewissensfreiheit. Arbeit, work, is also your right, but not the basic right, not the Grundrechten. Actually, it is your basic right as well, but in Germany we have some articles on the top of the basic law. So the Glauben belong to that. Your freedom of your belief, your religion. Wohnung is also your right, but somehow you have to search for the Wohnung. You have to search for the work. You need to entertain yourself. It is a right, but you have to fulfill yourself. But the Glauben, your belief and your freedom, it is ensured in Germany. Like, government even can interfere in that as well. If somebody is limited for their religious activities, then government can take some strict actions against those groups which are trying to persecute some specific groups, or they are against them. So in Germany you have a right for your belief and your conscience. Sure. Next, go to the next question. Was steht nicht im Grundgesetz von Deutschland? In Germany we have a basic law, Grundgesetz, Verfassung, and what is not being written in that part? Die Würde des Menschen ist unantastbar. That the people, would they just mention the dignity of human? The dignity of human is untaskbar, is untouchable. Taskbar is mean touchable and untaskbar mean untouchable. That they are saying that in Grundgesetz it is not written that the human dignity is untouchable. It is written in, actually it is written in the German law, in the basic law, that human dignity, the as the basic respect of any person is untouchable. You cannot touch it. It is already written in Grundgesetz. This option is not correct. The very basic law in Germany, the very basic law is the dignity, is the self-respect of any human. So, self-respect of any human is unantastbar, is untouchable. This is already written. Alle sollen gleich viel Geld haben. This is not written in the basic law. That all the people will have the same amount of money. They will earn the same money. Actually, it depends on your skills. So, a state never ensures that all of the citizens will have the same amount of money. It depends on your skills. So, this is not written. Jeder Mensch darf seine Meinung sagen. Everyone is allowed to give his or her opinion. This option is actually this option is not under this question. It is already written in Grundgesetz. What is not written is this. And alle sind vor dem Gesetz gleich. All the people, all the citizens of Germany are same in front of law. They are same. So it is also being written in the Grundgesetz. What is not written in Grundgesetz is all the citizens will have the same, they will earn the same money, or they will have the same viel Geld haben. Actually, the money sometimes depends your earning on your skills and sometimes on your luck as well, then your efforts as well. So this is not written in the basic law. The other laws or other state responsibilities are already a part of Grundgesetz. So, the last question of this video is: Welches Grundrecht gilt in Deutschland nur für die Ausländer, Ausländerin? Which of the law is only given for, or is only being written, is only being valid for the Ausländer, for the foreigners? Das Grundrecht of shoot their family, the protection of their families, it is for all the people in Germany, either they are foreigners or German citizens. Mention with the human dignity, as I told you, it's a basic law. Asylum, the Flüchtlinge. For like there is a law in Germany that some communities in other part of the world, if they are being persecuted, they are facing some real difficult time to follow their religion, follow their culture, or some other issues. They are being persecuted politically, religiously, or some other issues. Then they have a right in Germany to take a political, religious asylum, asylum. This option is correct. This is the law which is only for the Auslander. A German can never take an asylum in Germany. He can take anywhere outside Germany. It's possible, not in Germany. So the basic law which is for the foreigners is asylum. Meinungsfreiheit is for everybody. Germans or non-Germans, for everybody. So Asyl is the correct answer. So you see, this was the last question of video number 1 of part 3. Part 3, as I already told you, is about the government institute and the basic laws in Germany. This part will contain around 4 videos. So this was the first video of this part number 3. Kindly like our video, subscribe our channel as well, and if you have any question, any query, you can put in comment section and we will answer that. So and then if you need some further explanation about any question, for example, or if you want to know more about some German words or German laws, you can also put it in comment section. So this was the last question of this video, which is video number 7 of our video series for the Einbürgerungstest preparation in German language. And German is the exam in English language, you can say. So this was the last question of video number 7 of part number 3. Along with this, I will also like to add one other point, as some of our YouTube viewers have suggested us that we should have a Patreon account. If you don't know about Patreon, actually Patreon is a membership platform which is for the business support of YouTubers, content creators and bloggers which are uploading their stuff. And if their viewers want to support them with as low as $1 or €1, then they can become their Patreon and can make a pledge with them that they give them €1 per month or even more amount more than that. So keeping in view those suggestions, we have created our Patreon account. In the description of this video you will find a link of our Patreon account. So if you want to contribute in our efforts, if you want to contribute some money as low as €1, you can also contribute more amount or lesser amount, or even if you don't want to contribute, it's also fine. So if you want to get information of our Patreon account, you can get it information in the description of this video. Like with this Patreon account, it will really help us to come out with some great stuff for you for some more future projects. So friends, this was everything for this video. I hope you are doing great. If you have any query, any question regarding this video or the previous videos, you can put in the comment section. We will try to answer that. And then till the next video, we will say you very good luck for your Einbürgerung test preparation. Bye.